Visiting with Robert Schaefer, the architect for the Center for Creativity. What's going to happen in this building?
Lots of things are going to happen in this building. The building's going to house a number of different functions that are all creative in nature. First, it's the distance learning operation. All the distance learning content is going to be produced here. The building has one of the largest television production studios in Tulsa, plus an academic production studio that's adjacent to it, separated by a control room.
Well, you've got all of this activity that's going to happen in the building, but you also have a unique location to put this structure in. Talk about this unique location.
The location came about in a really interesting way. As you know, TCC has lots of property in the Metro campus area. 2 city blocks south of the Metro campus block, the half block that this building sits on, and then property on the north side of 9th. And we were charged with finding a site for this building, and it became, pretty soon we began to realize that it wasn't the site for this building we were looking for the center of campus. And so after a lot of investigation and analyzing, we found that the 9th and Boston would be the center of this new campus, because this is the first building off of the Metro campus block. And so this is the building that begins to create a true urban campus with students on the street and street activity, campus street activity going on. And so that was the idea. So that being the center of campus at 9th and Boston, this site began to say this is where it is, because we were able to put 2 buildings here, start reinforcing this campus center, and then future construction that might happen on the north side of 9th would complete that campus square.
Well, besides just being the center for TCC Metro and balancing the campus design, we're on Boston Avenue. We've got a landmark of architecture at one end with the Boston Avenue Methodist Church. On the other end, you got the BOK Tower.
Right.
How does all that fit in?
Well, it's I've always said that Boston is Tulsa's quintessential urban street. It's our only canyon and our only urban canyon. And what's happened over the years as parking actually became more economically viable than buildings, and so a lot of buildings got taken down, and we lost what I call the street wall. If you go further north on Boston, that street wall is all intact. The Atlas building, all the buildings that create that canyon through there create this wall right up to the property line on either side of Boston, and give you that urban environment. And as you got towards 10th, it got lost because so much had been taken down. And this building now restores an entire block of that Boston street wall. So as you look north, the Boston Canyon frames the BOK Tower. Now, if you stand at 7th or 8th and look south, this building, the Center for Creativity, and the existing TCC buildings recreate that urban canyon and frame the Boston Avenue Church. So
the design of this building seems to embrace the location, embrace downtown, embrace Boston Avenue.
Yes.
You've got almost a parapet that sticks out into the Boston area.
It absolutely does. We got air rights to create that parapet. It actually extends beyond the property line into the city property. So, but yeah, this building, a lot of buildings just observe the street. They don't interact with the street life, and we felt it was imperative this building, because it's part of this TCC's urban campus, that it interact with the street life. And so we created these outdoor spaces in order to do that, plus the way the building reacts to the street and joins the street.
How is this going to be part of enriching life for people who come downtown?
The building will become an integral part of the urban environment. Part of the mantra of this building, part of what drove the design was the idea of taking it to the street. And that did a lot of things with this building. It made the building transparent in many ways. It's just like you can see all around you, there's a tremendous amount of transparency here. But the other thing we did was we wanted people to understand that things were going on inside this building. And because of that, we also extended, like this event space that's behind me, actually extends outdoors to the street. It opens up, the walls open up, and so an event can happen in here and flow right out to the street and vice versa.
There's a difference too. This building looks different during the day than at night. Did you
Yeah.
plan it that way?
Yes. I think sometimes buildings do that just naturally, but this one tries to portray its character at night instead of just become this dark box on the street with maybe a few punched openings with light coming through them for someone working late. This building is illuminated at night. It gets back to the entire program. The building is somewhat schizophrenic. There's things in the building that...
In the best sense of schizophrenia.
Yes, in the best sense of schizophrenia. But there's parts of the building that want light. They want to be accessible. There's other parts of the building that shun light and don't want to be accessible. There's parts of the building that have to be completely acoustically isolated. Other parts don't. And so it started shaping the building. But what it did was it created this glassy block along Boston. And we wanted to float that block at night. And that's why a lot of the lighting, as you look right out here, there's lights that shine down and literally float this glass block on Boston. And other parts of the building are so clear that we're lighting them from the inside, so the light spills out softly on the sidewalk. So the building becomes, again, part of this urban environment. It actually creates an atmosphere at night that most buildings can't create.
Interesting elements. You have a roof that grows. You're going to have bamboo. Yep. Tell me about that and why.
The roof that grows is, we created over 6,000 square feet of outdoor space. And because we have the three parts, the middle part contains the TV production studios. And also above our head here is an outdoor event space or classroom space or gathering space, just depends on your viewpoint. But over the TV production studios, we wanted to further extend the acoustic isolation. And one of the best ways to do that is 4 inches of earth on the roof over that studio, because that studio has a roof over it and the green roof is over the studios. So we have the visual appeal of a green roof as you walk down the hallways. Then we have the visual appeal of the green roof as you use the outdoor plaza space. And then the acoustic isolation of the green roof over the television production studios. And third is it helps with stormwater runoff. It actually slows rainwater's introduction into the city system. So it has a tremendous number of advantages.
So you've incorporated the latest in terms of technology, the latest in terms of energy efficiency, some pragmatism with some green design. What you have is a signature building. Tell me how you feel deep down about this.
This is the most exciting project we've ever done. It just is. We knew it. We knew it going in that this building was going to be the way it is, not look the way it is, but have this kind of impact on TCC and on the city. And it's flexible enough that it'll respond to TCC's needs. 50 years from now, it'll probably be completely different inside, but it'll still be responding to the needs of TCC.